everybody. It's Tuesday, TransWorld Tuesday, and we are TransWorld Live. Welcome to the show. Hope everybody's doing well. Can you believe that we are 7 days from Halloween? I feel like it was just yesterday. We were talking about how crazy, how it felt like weeks and weeks and weeks, but here we are, 1 week away from Halloween, 135 days from TransWorld. Sean Fenner, welcome to the show. We're glad you're here. Thank you for being here. We want to give a big show welcome and happy birthday to two of our favorite people, Erica Daybrook and Bruce Holmes. Hi, guys, and happy birthday. We're glad you're here. Jackie Nadine, thanks for joining us. We're glad you're here. Of course, please sound off in the chat. We love when you're interactive. We love when you're watching, but we love you even more when you interact. So tell us where you're from. Tell us where you're watching, what you're doing tonight, and the entire Halloween that we've got going. Nicole is on another assignment tonight, so we'll get her back in the future. But I have a very, very special co-host tonight. Not only is she a friend and a longtime member of the haunted house community, she actually owned a legendary haunt attraction herself. That's right, the Wisconsin Fairgrounds, right outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin in Waukesha for nearly 20 years. For the last 13 years, she's been the Director of Education and Special Events for TransWorld and has worked with the show. So you don't get a chance to see her in front of things too much because she's usually the one making sure the whole machine works behind the scenes. So this is a very special treat. Ladies and gentlemen, from our beautifully dedicated audience, please help me in welcoming Miss Ann Marie Gavinski. Hi!
Thanks, Chris. I'm so excited to be here tonight.
Oh, we're excited you're here. Oh my gosh. So you left the haunted house industry or you sold your attraction here. What did you guys do next? I mean,
Well,
you're running this huge event in Wisconsin. It's nationally recognized. And then rumors are that you're actually like the pickleball queen of Florida. You got to tell us it.
Chris, like so many owners, we just entered with a business plan. We had a plan to get into the industry, and part of that plan was when and how to depart the industry. And we really wanted to go out on our own terms. We were very fortunate. Actually, we left according to that timeline that we set many, many years ago. And honestly, we're very fortunate to have ended up in our happy place. And for me, that's playing a lot of pickleball.
That is awesome. I've learned a lot about it from you and from Rich and even from Robert too. Like you guys are just crazy about it. I got to get out on a court.
I know we could have a TransWorld team.
Oh, I like this idea.
Challenge.
Obviously, you get to interact with some amazing people. What do you miss about running your attraction?
Oh, that's easy. All of the people. Our staff, our family, the customers. That's one of the primary reasons I continue to stay involved with TransWorld, because I get to continue gathering with friends. And I don't have all the worries about the unruly customers or the unpredictable weather and those kinds of stressful things.
Everything that everyone is watching is going, yep, I'm waiting for that R word. And I'm trying to make sure everybody shows up to work on time. All of those fun stresses. Again, one of the things that you touched on earlier is that's what we talk about here on the show, is that the haunt business still has to have that business side. So congratulations to you and Timmer for having that plan and going out on your own terms. So I know you work for the show, and I think the last time we got a chance to see each other was June at MHC. How's the rest of your summer and your early fall here? What have you guys been up to?
Well, I'll tell you, we just got back from a trip on the East Coast. We were traveling with Billy and Karen Grenveld, and we went and visited all kinds of attractions on the East Coast, and we had an amazing time. I will tell you what, Visiting attractions in season is such a completely different experience. It's actually much like what we're going to see on this year's Legendary Haunt Tour.
So excited. Oh my gosh. We have a lineup that is for the legends, for the stars. So excited about that. And what a great segue, because, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially on the road to Legendary Haunt Tour. So let's show that amazing footage. Uh-oh. That's okay. That's the fun part about being live. This video, this I get goosebumps every time we see that. Like, we know what's coming because we've seen it, and every time it's just like, yes, oh, this is awesome. Ann Marie, real quick, we have to tell you, like, you are getting a ton of love in the chat. Jackie is saying hi, Mark is saying hi, Trey, Bob, Becca, Sharon, Elijah, Alan Hops, we love that you're here from the start. Erica, yes, this is our favorite day of the week too. We love it. Peggy, oh, all this love. Well, we are officially on the road to the Legendary Haunt Tour, legendaryhaunttour.com for all of the information. Ann Marie, you've been a part of this, not only attending, helping to orchestrate, and actually being one of the attractions that on it. What is the Legendary Haunt Tour for those that don't have a clue?
Start our night off going to a tour at Barrett's Haunted Mansion. We're going to see 2 full shows with actors. They're going to let us take as many photos as we want, and we're going to have dinner, a cash bar, and we're going to have some Q&A directly with the owners and some of their key staff. I mean, that would be a full night in itself, but then we're going to depart there still on Friday night, and we're going to head out to Fright Kingdom.
Yes.
And at Fright Kingdom, we're going to have another full show. They have 5 haunted houses at Fright Kingdom. They're going to have a Q&A also. We're also going to have time for behind the scenes. And during that behind the scenes tour, they're going to allow us to take as many pictures as we want.
Yes, love them. Love them. But wait, there's more.
There is more, because when you wake up on Saturday, you have 2 different options. You can have the added option of going into Salem and spend part of the morning into the early afternoon in Salem touring it on your own, but the buses will take you there. Then the buses will pick you up from there. We're all headed out then to Haunted Overload for a daytime tour. Photos are going to be allowed. We can roam around the farm. We'll jump back in the buses to go to dinner, come back after dinner, and we're going to have a full evening show at Haunted Overload.
I am so excited. Sean, you are exactly right. Ann Marie and I just got our tickets as well. We are very, very excited. Now, Ann Marie, I know Jen is super passionate about making sure that every guest on our tour has the best cuisine. What if somebody has some allergies? What happens if they have any diet restrictions? What should they do?
My gosh, I'm so glad you brought that up, Chris. We definitely want them to contact Jen at haashow.com. Send her an email and let us know whatever your dietary restrictions are, and we will try to accommodate them.
Love this. Now, we know that the early bird has passed. So hopefully for any of those that have taken advantage, good for you. But there are still a few tickets available. So we know that the standard tour, the standard price with the bus, with all of the food, with all of the haunts, with all of the hospitality, $425. And if you want to drive yourself, if you want a little bit of freedom and don't want to go onto the bus, you could do that for $325. And we've got some really cool news. The Salem tour on Saturday, it's sold out. That's right, folks. If you haven't gotten your bus tickets for the tour, this is going to sell out.
It absolutely is. So you guys go ahead and get your tickets. Salem has already sold out. So those two buses are completely full and you don't want to wait any longer. Get those tickets right away because once these next buses are full, there's not going to be any more that we can add.
That's it. Now, Ann Marie, I heard a rumor that no tickets are going to be sold on site. People have to purchase these ahead of time online. Is that right?
That is absolutely 100% correct.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, there is one place to get your tickets. It is the legendaryhaunttour.com. You'll be able to see the itinerary. You'll be able to see the menu, get all of your questions answered right at the website. And of course, get your chance to opportunity to buy your tickets. Don't miss out. Now, we do have some amazing guests tonight, and I can't wait till you get a chance to meet them. They are exciting. We had just a blast talking in the green room, so I can't wait for us to bring them out. But we do have to pay homage and thanks to our amazing TransWorld Live premiere show sponsor, HauntPay. We love HauntPay. Thank you so much. Ann Marie, tell us about these amazing guests we have.
Well, you know what? It is my honor to introduce to you the TransWorld Live audience, the owners of Fright Kingdom, who you are going to see on Friday night on the Legendary Haunt Tour. Hello, Tim and Angela Dunne, and welcome to TransWorld Live and the Road to Legendary Haunt Tour.
Hey, everybody.
Hi,
We're very
everyone.
excited.
Happy almost Halloween.
Hey, welcome.
Okay. All right, guys. Before we do get started, I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge someone who I know is close to you and Angela, Tim, and myself. Steve Kopelman is going through some pretty serious health issues right now. So I just wanted to ask people to keep him in your thoughts. He has certainly been a huge part of this industry for more than 30 years. So anyway, now we got to dive right in because we have so much to cover. All right, Tim and Angela, are you guys ready?
We're ready.
Let's go.
Okay, so I've known you for a long time, so I already know your story. But for the haunt beast watching who may be seeing you for the first time, can you give us a bit of the backstory of what led you and Angela to becoming owners of Fright Kingdom?
Sure. So, as a child, I grew up in Florida, and I always had a passion for visiting Walt Disney World's Haunted Mansion, as I'm sure many are familiar with. But, me and Angela both shared the love for anything spooky and haunted. And, we attended many large scale haunted attractions throughout New England in our younger years. And we always aspired to open our own show. And that's what we did in 2005. We started building our show.
Yep, we went to TransWorld in 2005, and then we opened up that following October.
And Tim, maybe there was a contest involved that you might have entered.
Yep. In 2007, Disney teamed up with CareerBuilder.com for one of the early social media blitzes. And they basically asked people to make a 45-second YouTube video telling Disney why they should pick you to work in one of their attractions. Haunted Mansion was one of the 5 attractions that they offered. And we made, a 45-second YouTube video right here at the haunted house. And Disney picked me. They, out of hundreds of thousands of contestants, they picked me to be a butler in the Haunted Mansion. And it was just an amazing adventure. And, what worked really well for us was I got Disney training. I went to Disneyland in Anaheim, California. I got, all the cast member training, costuming, makeup, and I got to, work in the Haunted Mansion in California. And friends from all over the country, flew into the region to see me wearing the Haunted Mansion butler suit, welcoming people to the dead center of the room. But, what I really, the takeaway was just the training of, how Disney trains their cast members. Every little bit of that I held on to as closely as I could. And to this day, I still incorporate those items into our show that we put on.
Wow.
Isn't that just a fantastic story? That's just so amazing. He won a contest and you learned so much that you could then utilize in your business. That's awesome. I do have to sidebar because we have someone else here that also won a contest. Our very own producer, Robert Smith, he won a contest a while back to be an actor in a haunted house in Wisconsin. And he's been involved in the industry ever since. And he's even made it a family affair. Robert, I know you can hear us. Do you have anything to add to this story?
This was unexpected. It was a contest I won. It was for acting in the haunted house for 2 hours at night. After those 2 hours, I said I could never do this again. I had no voice. I had no training, of course. So, I just went in there just having fun. But a year later, they asked me if I wanted to come and try acting, and I said sure. And it worked out wonderfully from there. And look at that. It led me into great things like TransWorld itself, and it's been a great story.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome! That is
great job, Robert.
Tim, Angela, we are all excited, especially for many of us that are first timers to Fright Kingdom. We know you have 5 awesome world-class haunted attractions in addition to your Monster Midway. Is there anything that you can tell us to tease all of our audience about what they're going to see in just 3 weekends here?
Well, one of the things I'm proudest about here, above and all the attractions and all the props and everything, is the team of people that we have involved here at Fright Kingdom. Yeah. Our actors are what makes this show happen. And it is not even just the actors. It's our parking people, our security staff, everybody right across the board. We have an amazing crew of super dedicated people. And, doing this for 19 years has given us the opportunity to really collect the best people. And that's what we have. We have the best people.
Amen. You can't do anything without the amazing people that help us and support us. So the names of your attractions: Apocalypse Z, The Abandoned, Bloodmare Manor, Psycho Circus, Grim. I was reading the descriptions online. I'm looking at the pictures. I'm blown away. Now they're all completely indoors, right?
That's correct. Yep, everything is completely indoors. We are in a 150,000 square foot building. Although all the haunted houses are indoors, your experience starts when you get off the bus. So once they get off the bus, that's when everything starts. We have a whole outside queue area, our facade, music, lights, sound, obviously. And literally, when our October customers come to Fright Kingdom, we're on them from the minute they get out of their car till the minute they get back in their car. So all the haunted houses are inside, yes. But we got activities going on outside as well.
I love it. It's a full encompassing experience. I'm so excited.
Hey, Tim, can you tell us what makes Fright Kingdom unique?
So, on top of what I already talked about before, our people and our staff, because that really is what makes us unique, is the dedication of our team. But I guess a couple other things would be, we've been doing this for 19 years. This business is a dedicated haunted house business. We're not, a fun center or trying to extend our season. We started this business for the sole purpose of running haunted houses. So my other business is I'm a demolition contractor, and I tear buildings down, all types of old structures and things like that. So in the 19 years of doing this, it's enabled me to accumulate a lot of, miscellaneous building materials that are truly old and creepy. And, every year we don't break down. Our haunted houses stay up year round, and being indoors and climate controlled, it affords us the ability to continue to add more layers of detail on top of everything that we do. So I think that, one thing that's unique is we have a ton of detail inside the haunted houses and, throughout the attractions.
Well, and Tim, I remember something that's very unique about you when you're walking around in that area before you go in. You have all those photo opportunities and you collect a lot of memorabilia. I mean, you have a lot of old masks, and it leads me all the way to the Band of Bones. And you haven't mentioned anything about that Band of Bones. Are we going to see that at Legendary Room Tour?
You absolutely will. That is a very, very old set of animatronics that is one of my all-time favorites. Some of my crew likes to laugh at it and say it kind of reminds them of Chuck E. Cheese, but that's not the case, as you guys will all see when you come visit us.
All right, Angela, I'm glad you checked in there. I feel like we haven't thrown any questions your direction, Angela. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna bring you involved a little bit. And why don't you tell us what your role is at Fright Kingdom? What's
Well,
a night for you on site?
I do all the actor scheduling. I handle the box office. I do the payroll, and basically all the daily day-to-day operations that it takes to run a business.
That's fantastic.
That's essential.
She also keeps me supplied with Red Bull so I can keep going too.
There we
so
go.
You can keep going. That's fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
So, there's another fun fact that both of you were involved in a particular movie. I believe it was in 2020. And Tim, I think you made an appearance. Could you tell us about that experience?
Sure. So, operating the haunted house, we get a lot of people that, want to come to Fright Kingdom and shoot music videos or, do small, private horror films and things like that. And in the earlier years, I used to pursue that quite a bit. As this thing has grown, I become jaded with it a little bit, and we're really busy, and a lot of times it takes too much, for us to open the doors to somebody to come in here and make a video. And to be quite honest, when I let that happen, I don't really love some of the product that comes out of it because I don't have any control over the editing. So again, I become jaded with letting that happen. So we get a lot of phone calls about that, and I usually just say, yeah, we're too busy or whatever. But in 2019, we got a phone call, and somebody said they were making a movie on the North Shore in Massachusetts, and did we have some Halloween props they could borrow? And I said, yeah, sure, give me a call Wednesday. Well, to be honest, I had forgotten all about it. They never said who they were, but when they called me back Wednesday, I was unavailable. They called me back one more time, and I answered the phone. I happened to be at the haunted house. They're in the area. They came and visited, and when they came in, they handed me their business card and it said Happy Madison Productions, which everybody knows is Adam Sandler's production company. And, they initially came here just to rent some pumpkins and skeletons, I think. And long story short, once I gave them a full tour of the haunted house, the producer said that, after they went through Fright Kingdom, that it changed the whole direction of their movie. So they came back a week later with lots and lots of people. They left people here for 2 days, taking pictures of all of our sets and scenes and props. Literally for 2 whole days, a couple of my staff members had to stay with them. They held a clipboard in front of each room they liked or whatever, and they must have brought it all back to the director. And we ended up taking apart 70% of our haunted houses. I mean, when I say they pick a room, I'm talking about 2-story rooms with staircases and chandeliers and ceilings. And as everybody knows, there's always emergency lighting involved and our own sound and our own air. But we literally decimated most of our haunted attraction. It got loaded onto Netflix trucks and brought to Massachusetts. And, they ended up hiring most of my actors to work, the entire show. They hired us as a consultant. And actually, Angela and I are in an exclusive scene with Adam Sandler. If you ever watch the movie, they're at the drive-ins. There's a headless man driving a car, chasing Adam, and he runs up to a car, and there's a zombie and a witch making out, and that's us. And I turn around as the zombie. Adam Sandler sees me and, does his Adam Sandler thing and runs away yelling. But that experience is one of the best things that we ever got to do.
Yeah, we get to film with them a whole summer, be on set every day for 2 months.
It was amazing
to see how a movie was made.
And a shout out to Ben Armstrong, because he was a great mentor to me in how to deal with Hollywood folks and, as far as renting stuff and how everything should work. So, but it really was an amazing experience.
That's just amazing. It's just so cool that you were able to be have such a big role in that movie. And I believe there probably were some stars that you actually got to talk to one-on-one.
Oh, absolutely, every day.
Yeah.
So
Steve Buscemi.
Hey.
Adam, was around us.
Adam, there was
I love it. They refer to Adam Sandler as Adam.
Adam.
It's just Adam. Adam to us.
It's our buddy Adam.
but then it was great because at the end, when they needed to get rid of everything, they had us go and take it all for free and gave a bunch of stuff to us.
Yeah, all the production stuff. They didn't have a use for a lot of it. And so I did some horse trading with them on some of the rental of some of our stuff. And we ended up with so much stuff from the movie. In our midway, you folks will see when you come visit us, we have the Huey Du Bois's mailbox from his house in the movie and a whole bunch, all the decorations from the front yard and everything. We acquired a lot of that stuff.
So cool.
That's a wonderful bonus.
We were going to be able to go to the premiere in LA, but because of COVID, it got canceled.
Bummer.
It was an amazing experience.
Oh, absolutely.
Very
cool. Right. So we're going to try to give some more information to all of our listeners. So let's talk about building for a minute, Tim. So what has been your most difficult and most difficult yet rewarding scene that you've built to date?
Sure. So I would say that our Monster Midway, we revamped that for COVID. It used to be a lot different before COVID, and we made a lot of changes during that era to accommodate our customers and, make the business work. That I've been collecting this horror memorabilia my whole life, and so much of it was never really displayed at the haunted house because our areas weren't designed for that. So we spent the whole summer completely gutting out our midway and building sets and scenes on rolling carts that we could move out of the midway. But I'd say assembling our entire midway was our most challenging and rewarding because our reviews, people feel like they're just walking through a giant horror Halloween museum as they wait in line. As everybody knows, customers don't like to wait in line. Nobody does. So in our midway, it's the bigger portion of our line. And there's just so much eye candy. We have multiple animatronics with the big red button that people can set them off as they walk by. And as you mentioned before, the band playing. And, I don't want to give all the surprises away for everyone, but there's quite a bit to see in our midway.
Your Midway is pretty amazing. We definitely are looking forward to it. I know that Midway changes, and Fright Kingdom has really extended your season beyond what you do at Halloween. Could you tell us a little bit about some of those other events that you're running at Fright Kingdom?
Sure. About 14 years ago, we had a crazy idea that, hey, we should do a scary Christmas and theme it around Krampus. And what we did is we did a one night event 14 years ago, and the customers that came were mostly other haunt actors and real Halloween fanatics, and it was pretty lightly attended. But for us, at the end of October, as many haunt owners will know, you start out, you ramp up, and you get so busy, and then the people start coming, and the nights get busier, and then all of a sudden you stop, and it's all over. We here call that the haunt blues, because when it's all over, it's like, what do we do now? We this is what we live for. This is what we love. So once we added that Christmas event, it gave us something to work on and something to look forward to. So, here we are 13 years later, and our Christmas event, we've been continually adding more and more layers on top of that. It takes, a really large crew to do this overlay on what we do. And I mean, me personally, from everything that I've seen, I don't think anybody in the industry does Christmas like we do it. Not to toot my own horn, but my team does such an amazing job. I mean, it's a major, major overlay. And now, I talked about the first night, maybe we had 100 guests come. And, these days it's completely sold out every single night. And, we only operate that for 3 nights and all the work that goes into it. But we pretty much have a cult following for that event. We do a few other events as well. We do our Halfway to Halloween, which is in May, and that's another weekend that's completely sold out. And we do our Fright Kingdom in the Dark, like many other haunts across the country. We do that in November.
That's awesome. I know that you have talked about your crew, and we love paying homage to all of the people that support us and make that backbone of our dreams come true. How many crew do you have? How many staff? How many actors?
Yeah, we're right around 100, and 100 with our parking team, our security team. We hover right around 100, 115-ish.
And one of the biggest questions that we get from a lot of haunt owners and operators that watch the show is, do you have a balance between paid and volunteer?
Yeah, we pay every single person. In our formative years, we tried a partial volunteer program and a partial paid program. But, as we've grown, we're 100% paid. As a business owner, that's, in my opinion, the only way to operate if you're able to. It just makes everything cleaner and smoother, and it's we pay everybody.
That's awesome. Now, and our last question about staff: do you have any permanent year-round members that are part of your build crew or part of your maintenance?
We do, yeah, we do. We have our animatronic tech that works year-round. He works at the haunt, and I have 2 others that are pretty much full-time. You know what I mean? They're on call whenever they're here quite a bit. So I would say we have 2.5 full-time staff.
Very nice.
In addition to us, we're full-time.
Oh, of course. Very nice. Very nice. I'm excited.
Well, I think it's time to get into some personal questions with the Dunnes before we let them go. What do you think, Chris?
I love that idea. I absolutely love that idea. This is our most favorite part of the show. Like, we love learning about your attractions, but we want to learn about you guys. So, Ann Marie, would you like me to go first?
Absolutely.
What gets you most excited about the Halloween season? For doing this for 19 years, why do you love it so much?
So for me, what gets me the most excited is after the big build-up for prepping to open, and once we get our first groups and all the haunted houses are full, and I hear the screams emanating from all points of this facility that we're in, that's the most exciting part for me.
Bravo.
To see this giant machine work, and then to see the people come out the back door, just with the reviews that they give us and the compliments. I mean, we've been doing this long enough where, we've had little kids come to our Hardly Haunted, and, now they're adults and coming through with all their friends. But I'd say, when we're in full operation, hearing the screams and everything's working is my most exciting part. How about you, Angela?
I'd say the same, but one of our actors talking about little kids, when he first started, he had no children, and now actually his son works here as a parker. His son's 19 and now works with us.
It's a
And
family
isn't that
affair.
amazing when they grow up with you?
Yeah, multi-generational.
Something
I
not
love that.
familiar to the Gavinskis as well.
So, on my turn, I'd like to know, do you have a Halloween tradition? And what is it?
Well, our Halloween tradition is to be right here at Fright Kingdom, overrunning our haunted house. We give out candy to everybody that comes, and there's no place I'd rather be on Halloween. We have some grandchildren and a daughter, and they get to go do their trick-or-treating thing. But for our Halloween tradition is to be at the haunted house. That's the only night that we let our patrons come and wear costumes. So that in itself is pretty exciting, to have customers come and wear costumes and have costume contests and all that.
Before the haunt, though, we used to spend every Halloween at Disney.
That's
That
okay.
that totally makes sense. We understand that.
I love this. Thank you so much for being a part of our show, taking time out of your schedule. We know that everybody is beyond excited to be a part of your show and to get to experience it firsthand. Of course, FrightKingdom.com is their website. So if you want to go check out some pictures, get excited about the tour that's coming. But I think Robert might have a little special teaser here to wet our whistle. Oh my God. Now, Duns, can we ask you one more personal question before we let you go?
Sure.
We need your assistance. And everybody that's watching, get ready with your fastest fingers here. We're going to ask the Duns a personal question, and then you guys are going to answer it in the chat. LHT, and then the answer to this question: what is Tim's favorite Halloween movie? What's Tim's favorite Halloween movie? LHT, put the answer in the chat, and you are going to win a legendary Haunt Tour t-shirt, custom designed by Chad Savage and Sinister Visions. We're going to ship it to you so that you can wear it to the tour, maybe even get the Duns to autograph it. So we already have Tim's answer. Let's see what people come up with here. I'm excited to see the answers.
I'm watching. Here we go. It started.
Lisa, Lisa had Disney's Haunted Mansion. That's a great answer. That's not right. Jordan agreed.
That's exactly the direction we thought people would go. So, okay. They've been listening. They're paying attention. Great job.
We love that.
Way to go, beasts.
Love that. Love that. Seeing some good stuff. Hills Has Eyes. Also good. Halloween. Great suggestions. The Howling.
Okay. The Howling.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, Halloween. Halloween was mentioned too.
Yes. Oh, Ann Marie.
Oh, there it is.
I think we have a winner. Do you want to shout it out there?
Sean Fenner. There you go with Hubie's Halloween. That is it.
Congratulations.
Good
Congratulations, Sean. Oh, well, thank you, Duns.
Thank you for having us.
We are very,
Yes, thank
very
you so much
excited
for
for
your
everybody
time.
to come and visit us. And thanks to Jen and Rich and Chris and Ann Marie and Robert, the whole TransWorld team.
Oh.
You guys do an amazing job, and we, really appreciate all your hard work.
And we look forward to seeing you guys soon.
We look forward to seeing you.
We will see you very soon. Couple weekends.
All right.
Good luck with the
Happy
rest of
Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, Ann Marie, Are you excited? Let's get on the plane now. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's just go. Forget it. Let's hit it. Why wait? They said they're open in a couple nights. Let's just go early.
They are. I think I saw in the calendar they're open all weekend. What else do we have to do? Let's go.
I'm telling you, and that's the wonder of going through events. You can go through multiple times and see different things every time you go through.
Yes, different details, different. Oh, I'm with you completely. Maybe that actor was in a different place, gave you a different scare. Oh, love it. Love it.
Or you were so distracted by something that you missed the entire scene and you walked through and your friends are telling you all about how cool the detail was. And you're like, I missed it. Was I with you?
100%. 100%. Well, I am very excited. We have a second guest tonight. One of the lifeblood of the haunted house industry is, of course, our valued home haunters, something that's made a major impact in Midwest Haunters Convention progression. And one of the people that's leading the charge is part of the Chicago Haunt Builders. He is definitely a favorite, and we're so excited to have him back on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Slanker. How are you?
Well, the dude you were talking about couldn't make it, so I'm
here. Hey, Jim.
Good evening. How is everyone?
We're awesome.
We are fantastic. But, Jim, I feel like this is the time for me to make a confession.
Ooh.
Can you believe this? So here I am. I go to my first TransWorld. I come out of my first class. And I learned at that class that for 8 years prior to me coming to that show, I was a home haunter. I never knew what a home haunter was. And it was like, whoa, I'm one? I love it.
Yeah, for the longest time, you think you're the only one out there. And, our very first convention was Midwest Haunters years ago. My wife and I went. And the first time I had to go, honey, what would you think of going to a Halloween convention? Fortunately, she said, absolutely. But it was like, I'm going to take this, right? Because, the home haunt community just wasn't as developed. You were very isolated and, there might have been bulletin boards and stuff. But it was nowhere near the community that it is today. And certainly today you find out you're not the only one. I mean, there's 2,700 of us in the group across Chicagoland. So,
and that's just Chicago. What's great about the Chicago Haunt Builders, and I know other groups are starting to pop up geographically around the country, but Chicago Haunt Builders has been one of those leading efforts to be fully inclusive, to say, hey, that's great if you spent $100,000 on your props, or if you spent $100 on your props. It doesn't matter. You get to share that label and that honor of being a home haunter. For those that don't know about what the Chicago Haunt Builders are, can you tell us?
Yeah, so it's just a group of people who love Halloween, who love decorating. It may be, a few straw bales and some very simple props, or like you said, it might be extravagant, large pneumatics that are worthy of any pro haunt, right? Some of the members spend what an average pro haunt would spend every year on materials, but it's all about, at the end of the day, your immediate community and making memories for kids, right? And just bringing the joy of the holiday, right? It's a unique holiday. It's not like any other. It's what I believe is the most community-centric holiday of them all. I mean, you're going out, to all your neighbors and knocking on their door and, meeting people. And certainly today, there's adult trick-or-treating and many people have adult treats for the folks. So it's just, it's an amazing holiday. And Chicago Haunt Builders is all about celebrating the holiday, growing, the community, teaching people how to do more and just hanging out with like-minded people, right?
It is such a cool family. And it's not even like a club, it's a family. You guys take care of each other. I mean, you have 23 pages of listings, and it's not a big font type. And it just keeps growing. You and I have had a chance, as well as Ann Marie and TransWorld and Jen and Rich. We've had a chance to work with you for a number of years now, and your group continues to grow and just include and really excite people about the holiday and decorating. You have interactive Google Maps, which I have like laced with my phone. So if I'm going to see a pro haunt, I'm going to stop by all of those home haunters and pay homage there. If someone's listening and they're in the Chicagoland area and they don't know how to add that, they want to add their house to your listing, how do they do that?
Yeah, so really for this year, the list is closed.
Sure.
We do a printed list. And like you said, it's 22, 23 pages of very small font. I'm of the age I can no longer see it. So, we need time to close it out, to get it out, and we distribute it, and people print it and make it available, or they make it available by QR code. So really for this year, the Chicago Haunt Builders list is closed. I mean, it's a week till the holiday, but every year we make it available in July. We say, hey, if you want to put your information, it's totally optional. This is where you input your information. It's some basic information, a description of your haunt, the days you're open, and where you're located and everything. And then we have a very dedicated member. Like, we're all insane, but she's actually really insane because she volunteers to do that. And that's Amanda. She takes all the responses, proofreads it, gets the fonts all similar and everything, formats it, puts it together, creates the Google map, and puts it all together. So it's totally optional. Some people, want to do it. Some people don't. There's 397 entries this year. About 90 of them are walkthrough haunts. A little over 300 are displays of varying, it could be small, modest displays, could be pretty massive displays. But yeah, so, we make it available, and, you enter in your information, and, it closes out late September. And that way we can, do the final formatting and close it out.
Okay, that makes sense.
Love
And I
it.
think you've got some well-known members that are part of your group. We've got Dave and Aubrey Appel. They are from Horror Props, also known as the Stranger Things House. That's pretty awesome having them with your group.
Yeah, I mean, with the 43 billion trillion views on their stuff, and it absolutely
That doesn't hurt.
I think, a mere, 45,000 people showed up on their doorstep last year.
It doesn't hurt the national media. Yeah.
It doesn't at all.
International, right? I mean,
Yes.
it was global on that, and that was amazing. And they're such awesome people because we're so modest about it. And their big response was all Chicago Haunt Builders. Like,
Yes.
turning it back. No, it's not about us. It's about Chicago Haunt Builders, and they're just an amazing family. And interestingly enough, after we got to know them, we found out Aubrey's uncle lives a couple blocks from us. We know him for years, and he had a big Halloween display, that really was huge back in the day before we even restarted. So it's kind of the small world story.
It's such a small world.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And we do have some other well-known, amazing people. We've got this Chris guy, this Chris Z.
What? I don't know about him.
Who could be more famous than him?
Oh my gosh, not even.
But and then you might not know them by name, but you have certainly seen their homes on TV or on the internet, right? So on the 4th of July, every year on the 5th of July, there's this haunted house display with this, the saying, "Hey, 4th of July is over. Can we start Halloween decorating?" Right? And you see it on every Facebook group. It's all over and everything. So that's Dan and Tammy Crane. They're part of the group. They actually stopped haunting for a few years for various reasons, but they've come back to the dark side this year. So they're an amazing couple. And then another one people have seen and may not realize it. There's a house did a full Michael Myers facade in there, and it was a few years ago, and it was really the first facade house I ever saw. So I mean, it just goes all over the internet and everything. And that's Gunnar Palmer. He's here in the Chicago area,
Yes.
and he did that, and it went viral like insane.
I didn't realize that was him. That's awesome.
Yeah, he just did an amazing job.
Yeah,
with it.
I
That's
remember
great.
seeing
Well,
all those pictures.
I can tell you, you're getting a lot of love in the chat. I mean, people are wanting to move to Chicago. People are telling us how many of the amazing homes that they've been to. And then I won't share that last one. Chris, you can share that last one if you want about the bandwidth. I don't know what's going on.
Our good friend Japes asked, is your daughter okay with you using all the bandwidth right now?
Well, she's become so successful. I tell people my daughter plays video games for a living.
living. Yep.
And for a while she was back home with us. And I was on here while she was streaming, and I lost the battle. So I was a little choppy. But she is so successful. She's bought her own house and is out on her own. So she's out playing video games for a living. So I have all the bandwidth right now.
You are king. Okay.
Take that. Can we mention, obviously, very huge news that took over the internet? We have been honored to have him as a guest on our show in the past, but really huge news that just happened on Sunday. One of the Chicago Haunt Builders members, he goes by the name or the moniker of Brick Thunder and Lehman Manor, just won the ABC Great Halloween Fright Fight on Sunday, and you guys were well represented.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's astounding. They do a great job. It's actually just a couple miles from here. He's a young kid who, with the support of his family, puts on he's a YouTube streamer, if you will, and vlogger. And, they were on the show, the first episode of the year. And I haven't had a chance to see the show yet because in October, I can't, it's October. This is the first night I've been inside since late September at this time of day. But yeah, it's awesome. So, it just goes to show the quality of the membership in the group and what they can do. So, and I'll tell you, I can think of dozens of folks in the group who could handily compete on that show and would have the chance of winning. There's so many incredibly talented people in the Chicagoland area. It's amazing the skills and abilities, right, that we have in the Chicagoland area. And, I say the home haunt community is the petri dish for the pro haunters, right?
Yep.
So, and that's the same with, Lehman Manor, right? He wants to open a pro haunt. That's his goal and everything. And I hope he succeeds with it.
Same.
And everything. So it's just a great community, and it's a great group of people. We're honored to be part of it.
Amen to that. Now, we know that you have a big shindig event, and it's for anybody that's thinking we're making up a nickname. It truly is called the Chicago Haunt Builders Shindig event, and it's going to be January 20th. I know this event. We have been to your event. It sells out. You pack the room. Are you excited, and how can people get tickets?
Yeah, so it started, I don't know, I think this is the 9th annual. It started with, just 20 people, right? And we call it the Winter Shindig, right? If you're in Chicago in January you know that there's not a whole lot you can do except hibernate. And we thought, hey, if people can start their cars, it's not a polar vortex. Let's go out and get together, right? And it's just an informal get together. We bitch about the weather in Halloween every year. We delude ourselves on what we're going to get done and how we're going to be done early this year.
That's right.
Halloween, and we just get to hang out, right? And it's a few hours. And like for years, we've doubled the size of the venue, right? And I can tell you, last year we doubled the size of the venue again, and there was a waiting list of dozens of people before I just stopped taking the waiting list, and we were packed in there. Chris can tell you we packed the house. So this year we found a much larger venue. We can quadruple the size of the event and still have room for a dance floor and everything. So that's going to be in January, in Moretti's. And it's once again, we'll have a buffet, some informal, and it's just a time to get with people. We have amazing support by the Halloween vendor community. Last year, everyone who attended won a door prize. It's just amazing support. And we're not talking like, here's a tube of glue, right? No. I mean, especially with the support of Jen and TransWorld, there were prizes worth hundreds of dollars.
Okay, where do I get my ticket? How do I sign up?
Emery's coming.
I'm all the way from Florida. I'm there.
So tickets aren't available yet. Right after Halloween, we'll open it up. There'll be a link on the Chicago Hunt Builders Facebook page, and where you can sign up. And you don't have to be a member. People can bring non-members and family, or if you're interested in finding out about the group. But it's just a great relaxing time in off season when there's not much going on to just hang. And then we come out of that and it's TransWorld.
Yeah.
So not quite as soon as it was last year.
True.
Last year it was Shindig TransWorld. This year it'll be Shindig TransWorld. And then the hunt season opens, right?
I love that. It's a better pause. Yes. Now, I know you're taking time away from your very own home hunt. As you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this is the first time you've been inside, so thank you for taking special time for us tonight. I just want to give a plug for anybody that's in your neighborhood. Canyon Trail Cemetery in Carroll Stream, of course, canyontrailcemetery.com, because it needs its own website. We did a live broadcast from you guys last year. I can't even imagine how much bigger it's grown since last year.
Well, first of all, it's a lot drier than when you were here last year.
Amen to that.
So hopefully, after this time in October when we're together, you're not having to buy a new phone.
I would prefer that either, but that's okay. It was worth it.
But the Facebook page is probably better than the website.
Sure.
I just don't have time to
okay.
do it all. But so the Facebook page is more current. But it's an extensive home hunt. We have 36 pneumatic props, a couple dozen motorized props. Pretty much everything moves. We get 25,000 people walking the sidewalk and trampling the grass on the other side every season. Last year we had 2,100 trick-or-treaters until we ran out of candy bars, and we get about 6,000 people here. So it's great. The community loves it. I had a woman just before I came in just tell us how much it means to her and her family, and how it makes their holiday. And we hear that time and time again. We get people all the time who say, you're part of our family tradition. And that's a non-trivial statement, right? That's a powerful statement when people you don't even know you're connected to their family. And, we're actually very honored when people say that. And, but it's our little insanity. We have a blast with it. So,
Love it. I know that we can talk for hours, and I love that. And I know our fans love, because we've got like a list of questions. But if we can have one more business question, if you don't mind, if someone's watching and they want to get involved, or they want to start a home haunt and they just don't know how to take the first step, what advice would you give them?
just start small, do what you can, and then build on it. What my biggest advice is, keep it fun.
Yeah.
So many people get so engulfed in it, where they have these grand plans that they want to do in a short period of time. They create pressure for themselves, and then they start, falling behind. And, it's one of the reasons why, every year I get multiple business propositions. People want to do things, and I'm always like, no, I do this for fun. When it becomes a business, that's no longer fun, right? It adds stress and everything. So start small, start with what you can, learn, and just keep it at a steady pace where you can keep it fun and keep the pressure off, and join a community, whether it's here in Chicago or it's, in Dubuque, Iowa. Just find some other haunters and just, build off of each other, learn from each other, support each other, and just over time, just keep it growing.
Bravo.
That's fantastic advice. And I think it leads right into kind of what we want to ask you for a personal question, if we're getting a little personal now.
Ooh.
I'm a Taurus.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I'm a Virgo. So our personal question is, what gets you the most excited about the Halloween season, Jim?
It's the community.
Yeah.
It really is. So I love the creativity. I love the building and everything, but it's the community interaction, whether it be with fellow haunters. The friendships that we have built with fellow haunters are just amazing. And within the community, right? We know so many people in the community. We've gotten to know so many of our neighbors, whether they be immediate neighbors or just within the area. That's probably the best part of it, is the community. When that 9-year-old comes and runs up and gives you a hug and says thank you, or one young boy went and took pictures last year and had his own photo book made at Walgreens and brought it to me to show me his photo book of Canyon Trail Cemetery, right? That's it, making those memories, right? I say it all the time. 50 years from now, they are not going to sit around work and regale each other with tales of the emails I would send, or talk about that conference call I facilitated that one time, right?
Right.
That was a great one.
50 years from now, there'll be kids who will be adults then, and we'll talk about this really weird family by where they grew up, right? And it's all about the memories, right? That's the best part, right?
That is
Bravo.
fantastic.
Bravo.
Fantastic.
Well, of course, we love when you're here. Thank you so much for your time. I know we're keeping you from the display. ChicagoHauntBuilders.com. Credit to Sean, of course, and the Empire State Haunters Association, and all of the other geographies that are starting all over the country to help bring the communities together. I know, Jim, you've been an inspiration in so many of these, more than you probably know.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Jim.
Well, thank you for having me on. It's always an honor.
Happy Halloween.
Thanks, buddy. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Take care, all.
Always love when he's on. He's such a great soul. We love him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, friends, it comes to the end of another show. We are so grateful that you're here with us. We get to celebrate with all of our friends. Like Jim said, like the Dunne said, it's all about the people. It's all about the community. And we couldn't do this without each and every one of you. So thanks for watching with us. We don't take many days off, but we did make a small arrangement to not be on TransWorld Live next Tuesday because it may be some sort of a holiday. I don't know. We don't know. So
it might be trick or treating or something like that.
Don't know. So forgive us. You're not going to see us next Tuesday because it is Halloween. So our very next show will be Tuesday, November 7th. Same bat time, same bat channel. And it'll be our final show before the Legendary Haunt Tour.
Don't forget to buy those Legendary Haunt Tour tickets as soon as possible. Buses are selling out fast.
It is true. It is. There's a finite amount of seats. So, of course, we want to thank Haunt Pay for being our premier show sponsor for TransWorld Live. And I'd love to give a very special personal thank you to Ann Marie. This has been an awesome experience. Once I learned that we got to co-host together, we got a chance to work on some stuff. And I am beyond excited, and I hope we get to do this again.
Me too. I appreciate all your help. You've been great.
It's all about the team. It's all about the people. It's all about the community. So
yes, you too, Robert. Thank you. We appreciate you as well.
Cannot give enough thanks and love to Robert. He makes it all possible. And of course, from Jenny, from Rich, from Claire, from Steph, from everybody that works for TransWorld, from Ann Marie, from myself, from Robert, from Nicole, from our entire staff, and anyone that I might not be saying their names right now. We love you. Happy Halloween. We hope you have a very safe holiday, and we'll see you on November 7th. So happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.